Brought the bike over here to Kingman, Arizona, and Speeds recommended this gentleman to take a look at our bike because it's making that clunking noise. We're not quite sure. He told us a couple of different things, and Tam recorded some of that. And we're not going to stay to get to watch them do the work, so it'll probably take a day or two to do it. And then when we come back, we'll look at it. And the shop's called
Performance Specialist.
And wait till you see inside the shop. I have never, ever, ever seen a shop as clean as this is.
You could probably eat off the floor or any of the tools that are in there. So
yeah. So let's go inside, take a look around, and then at the end of the video, you'll probably see what was done to my bike and
how it sounds now.
Yep.
So don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, think about Patreon.
Sounds like the clutch hub bearing to me. I don't hear anything from the sprocket. Okay, so there's two bearings there. There's one in the case, the inner case here, and then there's one on the clutch hub. Clutch hub bearing, very, very seldom we ever go out. I've only replaced probably two of those. The inner clutch bearing here, that's on the inner primary case, we do those by the hundreds. Yeah. As far as, you still have a chain in there, I take it, and so we do check the alignment. And if Mike did it at Henderson, I trust those guys 100%, especially
much in the.
me.
I said you're quite a character, but so far you haven't seemed like you're.
Change if necessary. I'll tell you, my friend Mike runs Henderson Harley. He's a serviceman.
Yeah, we know him.
I'll stay out here.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Sure.
But thank you very much. Machine shop is all in there. It's our weekend toy. Tires and oil change. Scanalyzer here.
You got a very clean shop.
Yeah, we love our shop. We built it from the ground up. We've been here 15 years. And we've got welding over there and a bead blaster. More lifts here. There's one dyno. We can use that one for to break in all the motors we put in, and it'll also convert to trikes.
So you got it all set up like Speed does, where it cools the bike as it's.
Yes.
And so we know. I don't know if you know Speed's Performance Plus out of.
Let's see. Let me just get this door closed. You're right back.
What do you want to be? A 40-year-old man that still lives with his
Just put bearings in the trans. It's about $600 for the labor. The bearings run approximately 120 bucks. But I will bet you, did anybody check the transmission oil?
Not since I had a change, probably.
And where was that? How many thousand, maybe?
Well, not that.
2,500?
Probably 25, 35.
Well, we could drop it now and show you that what's going to come out of there. We got a good balance system now. Leave it alone. We'll get you fixed up. If and in fact you need adjustment, I'll take care of it. Dominic says you need timing because it pings like a son of a bitch when we get under load here. Okay, and then as far as the trans, don't put it off. You know what
We'll
I'm
go ahead
saying?
and leave it. You can do that.
I could do whatever you want to
Yeah,
do,
we'll do
and
that.
I will never hurt you. I'm not in business to hurt people.
I'm not,
I've been doing this 60 years.
I don't want it to happen on the road because if
I
we're out on the
don't
road,
either.
there's nobody. You can't get this fixed at the trucks. All right. So what are you holding?
main bearing race. This has to get pressed off the drive gear.
It wasn't crazy bad, but it was bad. Here's the other half of that main bearing. These have a plastic carrier, which also comes apart very easy. You can see the wear of the hard face. Let's see, and we have, these were the problem. These are trapdoor bearings. These things were completely seized up.
And in the case, where are they considered to be at?
They are on the right side of the transmission. They hold the counter shaft and the main shaft. It's like a support door, and it's right behind your right side transmission cover where your clutch cable goes through. So if you feel this bearing, you can feel the hard face is gone off of the inner ball. See, you can feel the clicking in it.
Yeah.
So that clicking was harmonically amplifying the sound, and that's what was making your primary sound insanely loud, along with other compound problems.
And do you see very often, like he left the Screaming Eagle adjuster on it?
Yeah, we put a brand new one on there.
And do you see it very often where, like when you came in here, you said my chain was super tight from the self-adjuster?
But that's only because it was slapping around so much, because these bearings had so much end play that the tension on the main shaft was varying too much. So it was like it wasn't perfectly round. It had an oblong. You know, the whole main shaft was doing.
So that's
this.
what made it get tight.
Yeah. So under load, it was getting really tight, and under idle, it was really loose.
Okay. You got to hear what he had to say about what had to be done to the bike. So we're going to take it home and we'll ride it at 30 miles and we're going to let you know what I think about it. So far it sounds a little bit quieter. You guys seen it? I'll probably fire it up here and let you take a quick listen to it before I jump on it. Here, and this is a great shop. You can't believe, you got to see what it looked like inside and stuff. But I mean, you couldn't believe this place. I've heard good stuff over 20 years about this place. How if you wanted to bike dyno, this is the place to go to. After the work they did, they're probably one of the best shops I've ever been in.
Yep.
And they show you all the parts they have. You just got to see what was on my bike and see what happened and all that kind of stuff. And it's good that they spend a little time and show you that and show you the parts and everything like that. A lot of times you go to a dealer and you don't know really what was wrong. Oh yeah, we fixed it. Goodbye. See ya. Well, at least here we got to see what it was. I got to feel that bearing. I could feel it. I didn't keep the bearing. I didn't need to see any of that. But they put a new chain on it. I'll go through the list of all the things they replaced on it, and we'll go from there.
Yep. So.
A little bit of noise because I don't have the little chain anymore for the cam. So you do get a little bit of that noise, which I expected that. That's normal. You're going to get some noises on your Harley no matter what. But the rattly noise is definitely gone.
The box of rocks is gone.
Yeah. So I'm going to go for the ride back home, and we'll let you know when we get back. This has been a couple of weeks since I brought the bike home. Actually, it's at the shop here. You can see the trailer behind here. We're doing some cleaning today. Somebody was. I cleaned the shop up a little bit. Going to start the electrical work here in the next, maybe tomorrow, and start getting that going. But I want to tell you a little bit about the bike. He mentioned when he first started talking, Kelly was there talking, he was telling you about a bearing he was replacing first. Well, that first bearing, which is right behind the clutch pack, it was the wrong one, and it was in crooked. So that was some problem, but it wasn't all of it. So when you see the second day, when it was, that's when we came back and he said, here, come back here, listen to this on the dyno. You can really hear it. And yes, when I went to that far side, you could hear those bearings growling in there. So yeah, so pretty much that should take care of all of my noises. We haven't rode it since, but we're going to be taking it out here since we get a little bit of a break. The weather's not been too bad. We've been in the 60s.
Yep.
So it's
yesterday would have been a good day to ride.
Yeah, but we try to get the room done. So the framing's all done in there, and so I'm ready to start doing my electrical work, and we'll start talking to you a little bit about that. So here, all of you that didn't join Patreon, that didn't get to see all this was your opportunity to see what was actually done to the bike. So it was actually in the gearbox, the transmission there is what was causing a lot of the noise. I went ahead and went out and changed the chain because they do recommend that if you're changing your compensator, you should do. Now I've got the Eagle,
Screaming Eagle.
yeah, Screaming Eagle adjuster on there, which is no longer self-adjusting. So probably about every time I do an oil change, going to have somebody adjust that up for me just to make sure it stays tight. And if everything goes right, maybe I'll go back with the automatic adjuster. We'll have to just see how things go. But we just wanted to avoid any problems right now with the Man of War that's on there, just to make sure we don't have any more trouble with that. So the noise isn't too bad. There's a little bit there. The Man of War does make a little bit of noise. So, but I mean, for something that's going to last you a lifetime, they are rebuildable. But I mean, if you still got a regular compensator on there from Harley Davidson, you're looking at about 25 to 30,000 miles. That's about all those things last. So if you want to keep buying that, I think it's about $300 for the compensator from Harley Davidson, and then whatever the labor is to have that put in. So with that, we're going to leave you right here in our garage as we're progressing to get it finished.
So thanks for hanging out today. Glad you got to watch the video. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share us with your family and friends. Think about Patreon. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications. And we'll see you on the next video.
Let me know how you liked the video. Put a couple pictures up there in the front, kind of show reaction, put some more text in there. Just trying to make them a little bit better, a little bit more interesting for you guys to kind of watch all the way to the end. So let me know down here in the comments what you thought. See ya.